Peace. Pardon the cutoff of the last video. I actually have to re-record this, and I just pulled new cards because it's just this weird thing that's happened when trying to post things to YouTube. And I really do enjoy the path of least resistance. And once there's a more stable platform to work with, or more stable one for me, because for whatever reason it has been ridiculous over the past couple of years. And then just too many increasing restrictions that don't make a whole lot of sense. Like some of them are really good to see, just for decency and, making sure there's like decency, for certain developing minds. And safeguards, but like a lot of the other stuff is just like completely unnecessary. So I'm going to have to make this very quick. So I pulled two cards on the instruction of spirit to, I guess, get to the point. And it, the Tempest of Lapis Lazuli as a card that comes from the Isis Oracle really does, to me it connects with the card for Sirius, the Priestess of Sirius card that had come up, that I'd gotten into. But for purposes of brevity and to close this out, the divine masculine is coming into higher grades of awareness. When we say higher grades, there is spiritual testing that takes place, but spiritual testing is it's heart based. It really is. So some of the other things trying to pose as spiritual tests, your heart knows if you need to go through something or not. And when there's too much fear on it and it's trying to push you in a certain direction, that can give you some indicators that it's not something you have to engage with or deal with at all. As the divine masculine is going into these higher grades of awareness, there will be some shedding, some just some emotional shedding, some misconceptions that really fueled his motivation, in life, fueled him to be driven and to go towards, to take certain pathways and to go towards certain people. And so checking his true heart's calling is going to be a big deal for him over the next month, I'm being given, in ebbs and flows, rhythms. So if you're finding that your divine masculine is not always so talkative, or is spending a lot of time in solitude, he may really want to share some of the things that he's learning, but the divine feminine is, best way to put this, embracing her vitality. In a way, it's he's dealing with more of kind of what would be divine feminine energy with a divine structure to it, of course. And the divine feminine is dealing with what would have normally been considered, at least how we've been taught to look at things in society, a divine masculine type of energy. So the Temple of Carnelian, it's funny, these are the cards I pulled, like Temple of Lapis Lazuli and Temple of Carnelian, both gemstones that you can work with to balance out these two sides of yourselves, because we have the divine feminine and divine masculine within. We have the right and left hemispheres of the brain. We deal with this yin yang balance thing. Entering the fierce belly of Sekhmet is what comes up for divine feminine. So anything that might try and come up and mess with you really doesn't have any power at this point. I don't know what to say. It just does not have power at this point. So while it could be tempting because you're beginning to feel more empowered, it could be tempting to show out. Spirit would counsel it is unnecessary to do so. You don't have to suppress yourself. That was kind of an old coping mechanism that went awry. But quietly being aware of your own power is sufficient. And that is coming through Aset, aka Isis, directly. All right, y'all. So I hope that this is helpful, and I will try to put up another reading soon. As far as how the interaction between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Okay, I'm being directed to pull. I'm going to just pull a card right out of the deck. You are worthy. All right. how you interact with your divine partner, whether it be in the physical, whether it's on different dimensional levels, whether it's in the dream time, or if your divine counterpart has passed over the veil, and is now one of the after living, whatever the format is for which you engage, what's coming up now are issues of worthiness, issues of, how am I the one that kind of gets to be your true love? Those types of thoughts where there's so much love and it's such an this is exactly what I would want out of a person type of interface with divine feminine, divine masculines, when we're really coming from a heart level, that the challenge can then become accepting that you are worthy of true love. You are worthy of this true love. You're worthy of a true love that's ideal to you, that fits you, that enhances you, that makes you feel more loving, more lovable, more attractive, secure, established, looked after, nurtured, and so on and so forth. And so some of you may just be basking in one another's energies, and that's enough. In this time, next 2 weeks from the time of this reading, because this is a timeless reading, this can play out. There may be, for those of you who are really talkative, even while the divine masculine is going through different things, maybe there will be poetry that's written. Maybe there will be different ways that he shows you how he feels, and it takes on an artistic tone. But I think a lot of what I'm picking up here is it's going to be relayed through feeling, through the ways that divine feminines actually feel things. And he's exploring that, and he's actually liking it. So whatever happened with those in society that kind of wanted men to turn against their emotional nature as if it made them weak or vulnerable, it's crumbled, and it is, continuing to crumble, if you will. It doesn't have a place in the age that we're moving into. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't have a place there because it's not true. And truth is what stands. Period. You have to have a foundation. Otherwise, then debased energies at that point, if they have no base, if they have no foundation, you can tell by the feel of them. They need to be released, and that it needs to be passed out of something. If they've come away from a foundation, and that's no longer the house they represent, so to speak, then they're on that journey to cleanse themselves and find where their next foundation is, so to speak. Whatever it is that may come towards us. So we don't have to worry so much about people, I guess we just say people who are having a hard time holding it together. Like there is a God, however you want to look at it, prime creator, you want to look at the most high, high consciousness, most high consciousness, or the most high consciousness we can each individually reach. And then those who came before us, the ancestors, the original ancestors, however you interface with God, because God is in everything. Those people who are in a lost place can be found if only they ask. So that's really what the bottom line is. And that's when people talk about submitting and surrender. It's like, submit, like confess. Okay, you feel guilty about that. Just confess. Just get it off your chest, like, let someone, a being with true intent that you can feel, here's this love for you, help you through a situation that might seem impossible to you, but they got the whole, they got the Akashic records right there, and they're like, I know exactly how to get through this. But you gotta stop putting up barricades and blockages, and you gotta stop looking back at things and giving them life. You know what I'm saying? What is it? Oh, Toby. Oh man, Ngiwe. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but he has a lyric in his song. Props to him and his beautiful wife. They're a beautiful couple. But it's stop giving CPR to dead situations. Situations that no longer have a life force to give. They don't have anything to give. It's not a serviceable situation. It's just become very much a draw energy from someone else type of fest, they can go. That can go. That can go now. And we can let it go peacefully. And it doesn't have to be that scary for anyone attached to those types of situations. You know, it doesn't have to be. There is always angelic help. And there's always the ability to go to the heart and say, you know, and respect divine timing. Not everything is going to pop up all at once just because we ask for it. But if you ask, you shall receive. And if you're not, who is it? Props to White Rose Guidance. Dope channel, and she just has such a wonderful energy. It's calmed me so many times to listen to her channel. But it's come up a lot where she'll say, rejection is divine protection, right? I don't know where the saying comes from before that, but it's true, y'all, because it may be the universe giving you a second to think about what you just asked for, so that you could be like, wait a second, let me cancel that statement and go back. Let me go think on this. Because sometimes if we're too impulsive, you know, we're acting out of a falsehood, out of fear, out of false evidence appearing real, as opposed to going in that really still and peaceful place and seeking truth and seeking the best way. And when you're ready to listen, man, divinity will give you the answers, like literally, like where you can go look it up in a book, words you've never heard before, names you've never heard before, practices you didn't realize ever existed, at least for your human interface level. And here it is in writing. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very real thing for those who haven't kind of experienced that level yet, or have had a hard time admitting they experience it. If they had kind of an experience and like, oh, I think I was just that was just a dream, or I was just bugging out, or whatever. It's very real, y'all. We are loved and we are watched out for. And we can ask for help whenever we need it. And, you know, we do have sacred connections. They're there for a reason, and there's a reason we incarnated. You know what I'm saying? So, there's another video I posted, and I don't know if YouTube, or not posted, that I recorded. It's talking about some of the earth angelic qualities that we have, you know, awakening for folks. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it posted, y'all. So y'all can check out the Ko-Fi. I'm gonna put the link in the description box. I will try to get things posted there, and maybe multiple platforms. It's just getting too much of a headache. It's gonna be too much of a headache trying to get things posted on YouTube when they're the right length, and then it's telling me it's too long. But how is a 20-minute video too long? I cram to understand, but really I don't. I'll just move on and find the path of least resistance. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. Thank you for tuning in.